Yo, JD3, welcome to the Lockdown Livestream.
Good to be here, brother.
Good to have you guys.
Thank you for allowing us to be here, man. We're super excited, super happy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this has been a long time coming, so it's nice to have you here. And real quick, I just want to say thank you to everybody that is tuning in. There are a bunch of people over on YouTube giving this a listen, so it's awesome to know that there's some JD3 fans out there.
Thank you.
So, real quick, let's get the plugs out of the way. Obviously, you are JD3. Where can people find you?
You can find us everywhere and anywhere at the JD3 Band. Facebook, Instagram. We got a tweeter. We don't use it much. We do, yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. At the JD3 Band. Do you guys have an email address?
The JD3 Band at gmail.com.
Perfect.
That's how we roll.
It's on the Instagram too, man. We got it everywhere.
Yeah, you can find us on Spotify, Amazon, iTunes.
Fantastic, fantastic.
Stuff, yeah.
So why don't we go ahead and real quick introduce everybody in the band. Of course, the front man right here, we've got Mr. James Dowdy.
That'd be me.
Yep. Over on bass, we have Eric Hawkins.
Hello, hello.
And of course, back on the drums, we have the incredible Cole Morgan.
Hello, everybody. I don't get a microphone.
we'll hand one around. All right, so what do we have today?
Well, we're doing all original stuff today. That last one was a little bit of Voodoo Child, but everything that we do, we're an original band, man. So
fantastic. So an all original set, and one of them's going to be. Well, should we mention it?
I think we should mention it.
Well, let's mention it. One of them is going to be JD3's latest single, Hard Driving Woman, which has been featured on a number of radio stations now. As of the past couple of days, which is awesome. So let's give a shout out to, what is it, 89.5?
Yeah, one is a number. Yeah. I'm glad.
WHRO,
I'm super excited about it.
Yeah, that was a nice surprise when you guys sent that to me.
It was a surprise to us. We didn't know it was coming.
Yeah, big shout out to Paul Chagru
yes.
for putting that together, making that happen. Yeah, that's awesome. So getting some radio play, how does it feel?
I don't know, man. I mean, it's hard to process.
I'm still giggling like a child about it. I went home after practice last night, and I was like,
wait, hey, you wanna hand him your microphone real quick?
I mean, that was sure, why not? Oh, they are giving me a microphone. Sweet. Yeah, it's been a ride. Like I've been on the radio before. I've never been on a Spotify playlist though. That was definitely fun. Seeing that we're on a DistroKid playlist, I'm pretty sure, which is also really rad. That's definitely a first for me. It's got like 273,000 followers, and we're just on it, which is pretty neat. So thanks to whoever voted on that. I don't know how much of the word we got out about that, but that was all a voter-based playlist. So thank you guys, like a world for that.
Yeah, for real. Thank you. Super cool.
All right, so, and I think I just said WHRO. I think it's WHRV.
Yeah,
WHRV 89.5.
Out of the box.
Out of the box.
Yeah, man, they keep putting our stuff on the radio. I might have to get a tattoo or something. It's pretty sweet.
No, that's awesome. So, here's what we got coming up for you fine folks. JD3 is going to play a set of some awesome original blues rock, and then we're going to dive into a little interview where we're going to ask them some very personal, controversial questions like, why does Eric have a blue bass?
It's because I'm a Crip, man.
No. We're going to get into that later, Eric. Come on now.
I'm sorry for ruining surprise.
You really just jumped the gun. The whole it's shot. All right, that's the show.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, right.
It's all a facade.
It's just a front.
Absolutely. It's for bail money. That's what it's for.
All right. Well, let's give the people what they want. Why don't we?
All right. You ready?
Yeah, man, I'm ready.
Woman, why you gotta take my time? Woman, why you gotta take my pride?
Woman, why you gotta steal my car? Woman, why you gotta break my heart? She's a hard-driving woman, a hard-driving woman. She's a hard-driving woman, a hard-driving woman. Woman, why you gotta be so mean? Woman, why you gotta hate on me? Got me walking through the day on the eggshells. Then you take the keys and my Chevelle and you drive away like a bat out of hell. She's a hard-driving woman, a hard-driving woman. She's a hard-driving woman, a hard-driving woman. Let me tell 'em. Such a bitch. Woman, drove my car, yeah, right into a ditch. She's a hard-driving woman with a foot on the gas. A hard-driving woman, yeah, but look at that ass. Woman, why you gotta break my heart? She's a hard-driving woman, a hard-driving woman. She's a hard-driving woman, a hard-driving woman. Lay it on, James. Hard-driving woman. She's a hard-driving woman, a hard-driving woman. Damn.
Damn.
You got to be a true follower and listener to understand what that means. You got to listen all the way through to that one.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, shoot, we forgot the car crash.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, Can we go back and do it again and you just clank some stuff together
Well,
back there?
I suppose folks are just going to have to go and listen to JD3's Hard-Driving Woman.
Check it out on Spotify, YouTube. Probably got something floating up on the Facebook page too, man.
That's right, that's right. All right.
Also follow me at 7stone_road on Instagram.
Now go for it. Hey, plug away. Plug.
I put up a reel today of a snippet of the radio host. He was talking about the live stream tonight, and I got almost 1,500 plays on that reel today.
Wow.
And like, I don't know, man. There's
He's
power,
feeling good
there's
about
power in
himself.
the hashtag.
Yeah, hey, there is power in the hashtag if you know how to use it. Hashtag power.
And then there's power in mic control too. And like putting it, like actually speaking into the microphone. That might be a good way to let people hear you, wouldn't it?
It would. It would. You know, that's the number one thing that people don't do on this show is speak into the microphone. I don't know why.
Well, I'll make a concerted effort to be more mindful of that, I promise.
You know, Eric, I really appreciate you.
I appreciate you, Paul.
See, I got to be off the microphone because I'm usually over here cursing them off.
All right. Well, let's dive into this set. Let's just roll through it. Give people some nonstop music.
Let's do it. So this is a song called Homestead. It's a new one, and I just want to introduce it real quick because I thought of a funny joke to tell about Eric on the way here. Every time we drive anywhere together, he falls asleep like a baby, like 100% of the time.
Thank you.
We saw a bus broke down on the side of the road. About 12 hours later, this is what happened. Broke down in Louisiana. Now I'm stuck here in the middle Tennessee. Greyhound broke down in Louisiana. Now I'm stuck here in the middle Tennessee. Lord knows I hold my baby still back home, yeah, waiting on me. Haven't seen the homestead in a minute or two. Singing this guitar in every town I'm at, yeah. Haven't seen the homestead in a minute or two. Singing this guitar in every town I'm at, yeah. Lord knows I hope my baby still back home, yeah, waiting on me. Broke down en route to Louisiana. Now I'm stuck here in the middle Tennessee. Greyhound broke down en route to Louisiana. Haven't seen my baby in 109 days. Lord knows I hold my baby still back home, yeah, waiting on me. There you go.
Real quick, I just want to apologize. There was a little bit of a drop out there, so anybody that's watching live, we got some inclement weather here in Virginia Beach, and it knocked out the connection for about 2 seconds, but we are back. Everything is good to go. So
That was probably the best part, too, man. Come on.
Well, this next song I'm going to be taking the forefront on. It's called Long Time Gone. It's a little more ballady, a little slower. So, yeah, let's break it down for him. Can you give us a 4 count? I know it's been a long time since you've seen me around here. And I know it's been a long time since you let me hold you near. But won't you be shy on some other guy's time? And I know things just stay the same when I hit that long road. Well, I thought there'd be something for me to gain, but honey, don't you know I learned you gotta lose to play the game. Can't win all the time. Your daddy told you not to go when that train came down the track. Said that boy ain't got no home, and you said yourself he ain't never coming back. But if you go around with his might as well have sold your soul. Oh, no, no, no.
doing next?
I think it's gonna be "You Know Me," man.
Gotta let the bass ring, man.
Kick it on, man. Kick it on.
Every song Eric needs the bass to ring for 5 minutes. Ow. There's a song called "You Know Me."
Baby, you know me. Knows where I'm coming from and where I've been. Yeah, baby, you know me. You know me just like I know your friends. Yeah, baby, you know me, you know me. Just like the back of your hand. Yeah, baby, you know me, you know me. Know me just like you do your best friend. Baby, you know me. Baby, you knew me, but you knew that I don't fuck around. Yeah, baby, you knew me, but you know that I don't play no games. Yeah, baby, you knew me, you knew me. Now nothing will be the same. Baby, you knew me.
Thank you, everyone out there, all the millions of people.
My guy's busting a sweat over here.
I am about to die, but I'm all right. All right. Laveau?
Laveau.
Laveau. So the name of this song is Laveau. I keep wanting to call it Voodoo Woman just simply because I can't spell Laveau. So when I go to write it down, it's always wrong 100% of the time. So this is a little dirty blues for you. a wild one.
How you feeling?
I don't even know what planet I'm on right now.
Can you see the sweat on his face?
I know, dude. He's drenched.
My sunglasses are foggy.
Yeah.
See, it's almost like, hey, take the
If I take these off, you can see my giant eyebrows.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hide it. I look like a normal person.
Beautiful, beautiful. You want some water?
I got some.
Yeah, you might want to take a sip of some water there. Now, real quick, folks, for anybody just tuning in, this is the JD3 band on the Lockdown live stream. They are a local Hampton Roads band that does all original music. They're blues rock. They're fucking awesome. You can find them on Spotify, on YouTube. Their social media is at JD3 Band.
The JD3.
The JD3 Band, at the JD3 Band. Go check them out. They've also got some stuff playing on 89.5 WHRV radio. Hard Driving Woman, their latest single just released, so go check that out. You can also find it on Spotify and YouTube. So, let's talk a little bit about who you guys are, what you guys are doing. We got a Hawaiian shirt here, which is cool.
I figured the weather was so shitty I would just be festive about it.
Trying to brighten our day.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, man.
And my lovely wife got this for me yesterday, so
Very nice, very
you know,
nice.
Getting brownie points for later.
All right, so Mr. James Daddy, why don't we start with you, since you're closest.
Sorry about that. You can probably smell me real good, can't you?
So what's the deal with JD3? How did this all happen?
Man. So I'll give you the short story of it. I had a New Year's Eve party. 2020? Was it 2020? It's been a year. We've been together for a year.
Wow.
And I caught this guy out in the wild, and I was like, damn it, he can play the blues on that thing. So I followed him around places that he would go and be like, hey, man, you want to hang out? Hey, man,
That's
you wanna
not
hang out?"
creepy.
No, it's not, but I was persistent, and so I got him to come over on New Year's Eve, and we partied, just threw down some mean licks, just instant chemistry. And I was like, shit. And he was like, shit. And we were like, we should probably form a band.
Nice.
So, yeah. And we've just been kicking it ever since.
That's about verbatim, honestly.
You know, I actually believe that. Just watching you two interact normally, I believe that's how it happened.
I left my bass amp in my car with my bass. I didn't even want to play. I hadn't played for 2 months until I saw him.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Really?
It was after a big slump for me, honestly.
No kidding.
Talk about revitalization. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, spell that for me 3 times and backwards.
All right, and so when did Cole end up in the picture?
What, August? Has it been that long?
It's been a good little chunk of
God.
time.
Yeah, so we had a little turnover with the band, a little roster move that we had to make, and luckily for me, I don't know how, man, but Cole just came out of the woods, and I was like, hey, man, sounds cool. And then I didn't call him back for, 2 weeks? Yeah, I put him,
He was
I
playing
put
the
him
long
off.
game. That's what it is.
I was playing hard to get. I was making him really want it, and then, yeah, man, just kept running with it.
And we've been going pretty strong since then. Like, there have been songs that we had perfected in the first iteration of JD3
Right.
that have completely fallen away from us now because the sound, it just isn't the same.
Yeah.
It's evolved to a different level now.
Well, that's good. That's cool that you're on that journey of progression. You guys haven't let yourselves stagnate. You haven't hit a point where like, oh, we're good enough, so this is all it needs to be. It's like you're reaching for that higher mountain peak.
Consistent growth
Yeah.
has been our motto, basically.
And I've noticed that from the times, because I saw I think it was your first show like ever as a band.
God, yeah.
Yeah, at the Riff House.
Yeah, of
Shout out
course
to
it
the
was
Riff
at
House. Yeah, and you know, I remember you coming up to me after the show, going like, "So what'd you think?" And like, be honest with me, like,
Yep.
what's your feedback? And I was like,
Yep.
you know, work on it.
Yep.
You know, but then there were some iterations, and I saw you guys again, and it was a better show. And then of course you picked up Cole, and then everything changed. You know, and
It's real deal, cutting our teeth.
yeah. No, you guys have tightened up. I mean, everything. The whole concept of what the band is supposed to be. I think it got more fleshed out and was more directed
Yes.
It's probably good, more focused. And I noticed that especially when we did our recording session for Hard Driving Woman,
Yes.
which I think that, man, I'm really happy with how that turned out. I gotta say.
By the way, if we
happy
haven't mentioned it, Paul mixed, mastered, helped us with that. Did an excellent job. So if y'all are looking for somebody to record your stuff, he's the guy to go to.
Hey,
Heck yeah.
Plug. LK Entertainment on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
shameless plug. I appreciate that, fellas. No, but working with you guys in the studio environment was awesome. I mean, it was a great experience. We got it. I mean, we banged that song out, just got it done.
Most of it was a one take, yeah?
Yeah, I think most of it. Yeah. It's. I mean, you guys really crushed it. Yeah, I was very much impressed with how that session went down. It didn't feel like work, So big props to you guys. Now, is that the first time y'all have been in a studio before? Not just as a band, just in general, or do you guys have studio experience?
It was my first time. I think this is
I
second
was
time.
with, I had a mic control. I recorded with a band prior to this. Yes, I did. We did an EP, and a
Nice.
single.
Cole's been in and out of the studio like since he was born. He's the only professional musician in the band.
Yeah, Cole's is actually an industry plant. That's what he is. He's just waiting for his time to be activated.
Yeah, he might be. Cole's in like 27 different projects.
I've narrowed it down to 4.
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah.
Talk about that for a second.
Oh man, yeah. So I've narrowed it down to 4, and I'm pretty sure by the time this is done, 3 of them will be up on the wall over there because Soft Plan's been here before, Scott's been here before.
Yep.
Yeah, Fine Swiss hasn't been here before, but that's I don't know. Mitch is a busy guy. It's weird though. Normally I'll come here and I'll say like, hey, JD would have my head on a stake if I didn't plug the band, but now it's like I get to plug other bands because I'm here with JD. It's pretty different. But yeah, side
Stand
note,
right in front of you.
Baltimore Steam Gun is a band I'm no longer a part of, but they are releasing a thing rather soon. It was an EP I recorded with them last year. Definitely still going to plug that because it was a joy to record, write and record all that stuff with them. And yeah, even though the wind called me in a different direction, but that was still a lot of fun to record. That's about all I got to plug. I think.
Right on. Well, let's dive into songwriting, which is probably my favorite thing to talk about with people that come onto this show because everybody seems to have a different process and style, and some of it is like just ridiculously out there, and that's always cool, and some of it's like more monotonous than you might think. And everything in between. People's processes for writing is very, very broad. I'm starting to notice, and it's kind of wild. So why don't we start there? How do you guys write a song? Like JD, are you the guy that like starts it and then you bring it to the band, or is it during rehearsals? Like, do you guys sit down and do writing sessions? What does that look like?
Usually it's just jamming in between other songs that we're working on.
All right.
Like this last one we just did, Laveau. Look, I got the name right of the thing.
Good job.
Yeah, that one I accidentally wrote the lick to that at Magic Holler Boy practice in between songs there, and then we just started jamming with it, and it's still a work in progress, but yeah, that's kind of how a lot of them come out. Homestead, we really took our time.
Yeah, for sure. Like,
I was about to speak to that.
yeah. Do you want to speak on?
Pretty much covered it.
No, we gotta really speak on this.
Yeah, so if you notice Homestead, there's that whole little middle part where it's just like we break down some 2s, some 4s, some like way different type bars, and that took 3 rehearsals of just doing that to get that entire song right. That was the most meticulous I've ever had writing any song, or that was the most meticulous I've been. But it paid off in the long run. It's a great song. Like it's fun to play. So every time it's just like, all right, got that little math part coming up. Never thought I'd say that in a blues rock tune. So yeah, we got that one part with the weird breakdown. But yeah, it's been a learning process for sure. Yeah. Back to you.
Back to me, Eric in the field. But we have these thinky boards all over the garage that James has been collecting over the course of his life. And we've loaded them up with so much wet erase and permanent marker. Like,
Yeah, I've screwed up a few times.
It's ridiculous. I will say for me, when it comes to songwriting, I have a habit of coming up with the riff of a song first and then writing words to that little riff, that little ditty, and then struggling through learning how to play both of them at the same time.
Gotcha.
Like, there is this one song that I've been working on just a little bit that I finally got Cole onto it. Do you mind we like kick it off for you real quick with just a little taste of something?
All right, yeah, let's do it.
It's just a little taste of something. It's
What is it?
nothing too serious. Just that not the staccato and C flat. No, not that one. It's the other one. So I would get that riff, got that riff going, and then I would write the words to it, and this is what I came up with. And this is what I got. I drive this home to Cole every single time. Roll with me on every single hit, man. So it's gonna straight off the bat.
Oh, it's 3 o'clock. In the moonlight, I blew in on the wind. Oh, night, it's been blowing. Put my key in the lock so I could see my woman, but I was in for a shock. Oh, my, when it did open, now she done put me out before it did please me, but her children up my spine, I might lose my baby.
Nice.
So yeah, it was, and Cole's not gonna like this, but yeah, no, he was wrong the whole time. He was off. He was off the whole time. I know, it's crazy, and it only works in my head. It makes sense.
Sometimes
in my
Cole
head.
messes up too, man. It's not always just
Sometimes,
me.
not very often. Not very often. He's a perfect little boy, little fucking cactus man. But in my head, there are extra notes that sometimes I can't communicate to others very properly because I don't have an extensive music theory knowledge.
Right.
I did come from a background of choral arrangements and performances. Like, I was in advanced madrigal choir when I was in high school. I did all state, all
Wait,
city, all
you said
district.
madrigal, right? Not
Yeah.
magical.
Madrigals.
Yeah, I thought he said magical.
Madrigals, like the Encanto movie that just came out.
What's it like to be in a
Madrigal.
magical choir?
It was magical, actually. That's what it was. I did that over going to Votech. I did that over philosophy club. Like, it was.
Which, by the way, speaking of magical choirs, Caleb Wright is wondering where you got that sexy voice from.
I've been sitting in the closet 12 years just developing this, waiting for this moment just for you, Caleb, I promise.
You know, I was going to make a joke, but I'm just going to let that slide.
Just let it ring out.
This is what practice is always like. These two fools are always just going off doing things, and I'm just sitting there like, come on, man, I want to play guitar too. I want to play.
No, that was cool, though, getting to see a little real-time songwriting seminar with JD3, which, by the way, so I'm going to get back to you, Eric, but we do have another question that somebody wrote in. They are asking, what does JD3 stand for? Does it mean anything?
So my name is James Dowdy, and there's 3 of us, and I'm just egotistical as hell, so I named it after myself.
I like it, though.
Well,
It's very accurate. It describes the band, and it's straight to the point.
Yeah, that's it. I had another name for the band that I really wanted, like, for years, and then I couldn't use it. I don't want to say why I couldn't use it.
I'll say why.
But
Because originally this band had 2 black guys in it, and he wanted to call it the Monkeys.
JD and the Monkeys. And then I hired 2 black guys, and I was like, no, that ain't
That's not going to work,
It's
yeah.
not going to work. So
He
then
dodged
JD3
a lot of public relations bullets without not doing that move.
Yeah, you'd get canceled faster than, well.
It'd be quick.
on YouTube, it would have been demonetized.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. You wouldn't need a Twitter.
But here's the catch, though. His son, Jameson, we've already spoken the universal manifestation that he is going to have a band one day called the Monkeys. And preferably it's going to be a bunch of white guys, but who I don't know.
I feel like you're kind of ripping off the Gorillas.
Man,
already
it's
a band
huge.
called-
Everything I do, I steal it from somebody else.
They're gonna. It's copyright infringement. That's what they want. They just want to ride the coattails for as long as possible.
All right, so when it comes, I'm gonna bring this back. Ready? I'm gonna reel this back in. When it comes,
Please, God.
when it comes to songwriting, well, how many songs do you guys have as a band? Let's start there, or let's go there.
Ooh, original
Yeah.
songs, probably
It was 14 was
12,
the number.
15, something like that.
14
at this
was the
point.
number.
Okay,
the last
wow.
time that we counted it up, but we've cut songs away since then.
Right.
And there are still some that are in development that we can't even put on the list.
Right.
So it's a little fluctuating about the number right now, but I'm happy to say that it's double digits.
Is it a quick process? Like, does a song come together fairly quickly, or do you have to like sit on it for a while?
Some of
and
these
let it incubate?
some of these songs are just boom like that. Like
Yeah.
we just poop it out like quickly, and it's okay. Well, that's on the list.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them take forever. Like when we were coming up with Hard Driving Woman, like that one, like we literally like got in fights and stuff about like
5,000
that
revolutions
song
around
right.
the sun to get that thing right.
Right.
yeah. So
And that was
sometimes-
before Cole.
yeah.
That was even before Cole got there, and then we had to fight with him about it.
And then the other ones like Homestead and like the ones that we really feel like are
Right.
bangers. Like we really like. We all look at each other like, okay, yeah, we should probably not. We should probably work really hard to make this everything it can be.
Right.
you
Right.
know,
Right.
so,
That's a good philosophy.
yeah, just work hard and see what happens.
I like it. I like it. So, what? Let's talk a little bit about social media, because apparently, Hard Driving Woman seems to be doing fairly well. You know, it got picked up by some radio stations, which again, thank you. That's awesome. It's on a Spotify playlist, which is awesome. It seems to be doing well. What are some of your social media strategies? Like, how are you pushing content out there?
So we had like I have a whole giant thinky board at home that had all these ideas of how we're gonna do it and where we're gonna put money and do it's all kinds of stuff. And then
Right.
it was kind of like, you know what, screw that. We're gonna spend no money and just guerrilla like boots on the ground get this into the world for free. So like sharing in groups and with all your friends and all those kinds of things.
Oh, yeah. Cole's definitely got something to say about that.
Oh man. Oh man, do I have thoughts about this? Because literally the day of the release, he's like, "All right, here's the plan." I kid you not, sent out a full text message that's like, "All right, so post the link to your Instagram stories, post the link on your Facebook. I'll post it on the group, or I'll post it on the band's Facebook." He said, like more or less chain mail this to like 20 people. It's like, check out the single, and it just seemed spammy as all get out. If we're being honest, I was like, dude, I'm not gonna message 20 of my family members and closest friends and be like, hey, I know you like super deeply, but check out the single. Like that just seems unnatural.
Right.
He's like, just but yeah, it's definitely been a process, and not putting like you see a lot of these bands put in a buttload of money to get this stuff boosted, and we haven't put in anything. Yeah, absolutely.
The funny thing about it is that there has been a certain level of finance that's been put into this, but not on a level that you would see for some band that has like a large promotion budget. Like,
Right.
I think overall maybe $75 to $80 has been put into promoting our brand. So
Wow.
far
Yeah, not
over
just the
last
song,
year.
but that's
Just our
all the money
brand.
we've spent on the band, pretty much.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Right.
like under $100.
Now, with the rollout, because I noticed like you guys have a lyric video and all that. So like, where did all that come from? Like, what was
He made that.
You made that?
Yeah, I did.
Nice, awesome. So you decided like, okay, we need a visual with this. We can't just put a static image. We gotta do something.
Well, we wanted to do all these cool things, and we're all just poor, So we're like, let's just see what we can do, like on our own, make it as cool as we can, and just put it out there and see what happens. I start my day like every day, like I'll get some coffee, go out in the garage, wake up for a minute, and then I'm like sitting there with my thinky board or my phone, like, oh, what can I do like for the band today? Like what can I post? And it was just a bunch of planning and a bunch of ideas and thoughts that most of them went nowhere.
Right.
But
We storyboarded an entire music video.
Really?
Yes.
Wow,
We had it plotted out with scripts and everything.
that's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, we had
had it
Chevelle lined
rented.
up and everything.
Yeah, if anybody has a Chevelle that they're willing.
Well, I think this next one we've upgraded that for this next music video. I think we're gonna need a Greyhound bus. So if anybody out there has
a
one of those sitting
Greyhound bus?
around, yeah.
Well, it's kind of crazy how that works, right? Because like what we have out now for press for Hard Driving Woman is a good step. I mean, the lyric video is for being boots on the ground, like homemade. That's what it is. But at the end of the day, all it really is it's more or less ammunition. Because it's like if somebody sees that and like, hey, I could do a lyric video that's like a little beyond this, and you're just like, hey, would you do it for not a lot of money? And if they're like, yeah, then albeit go for it.
Well, and that's one of the tricky things about this business is just how much money it really does take to get really well-produced, slick content. And then after all the money you spend on that, you have to spend, almost double, if not more, pushing the really slick, well-produced content. And it's hard just to do something. I mean, to get people's attention without real money behind it, it's difficult, but you have to be clever, and it's
Tell them how you actually did it.
all right. Yeah.
How I don't want to give my secrets away. I mean, this is a trade secret.
It's okay.
So one of the things that we did was I joined like as many local music Facebook groups
Nice.
as I could, like all over the country, especially like places I wanted to play.
Right.
And then, we'd put little teasers and stuff out, and I would just literally go through and share it in like 100 groups until Facebook caught up to me. And I couldn't do that anymore, so I had to do that manually when the song actually came out, which was cool. Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're talking about?
No, that's smart, and that's actually a perfect segue into a topic that I have been interested in for a while, and I think would benefit a lot of musicians, and that is, like your marketing strategies. Like, what are you doing to be successful? So, like we've touched on, like, okay, so slick content is important. Having visual and engaging content, that's important. But now how you're getting it out there, and you're doing it through social media groups and just like posting as much as you can, basically.
Pretty much.
And
And then,
being
there's
active.
other things too. I mean, it's so much about knowing your audience
Yeah.
and knowing who is going to want to listen to you and where to put things. So, like, I've posted stuff in like car groups and, like things like that, like things that people like along with this kind of music. And
Right.
Stuff, But I think, I don't know. None of us are smart enough to really like have a marketing degree with all this stuff. I think we're just big believers in putting something that we think is good and just putting it out there and
Yeah.
seeing. This song was really like, let's just see if it sticks. Let's see what comes back. And like,
Yeah,
it's been out a week.
We didn't want to put any money behind actually promoting this song because we just wanted to know what would happen from a complete grassroots effort.
Right. If you just put it out, is it enough for people to listen to it and enjoy it enough to, share it with somebody? Which, that's a tall order, because, I mean, we all listen to a ton of music. How often do you, share a song that you heard on Spotify or something? You know what I mean?
Not often, personally. I don't send people music that I would just want them to hear. If I want you to hear my music, it's because I have like a personal, emotional connection with you, and I'm trying to like bare my soul in a moment.
Right, fair. But it brings up a good point, right? Even musicians, I think a lot of musicians would be well served by taking a step back and asking themselves as a consumer, like, what actions do I take? When I listen to a song that I like, or I see a video that I like, why am I watching that video? What is it about it that's gripping me? And if I share it with somebody, why did I do that? Because it's pretty rare for me personally to find something out on YouTube or Spotify or Amazon Music, whatever, that I'm like so impressed by that I have to like send it to like a buddy or something, or somebody that I think would enjoy it. That takes a lot. And that's music that is at the top of its the top of its game, right? That's like stuff that is, super popular, even if it's like a niche,
Polished.
right? Yeah, it's all really highly professional stuff that gets millions of views, and even most of that isn't enough to make me go, oh, I want to send this to somebody. So, when you're looking at your own music, you have to ask yourself, what would drive somebody to share this? What's going to make, if I only share like 1% of all the music I ever listen to, what's going to get somebody to share this, and what's a reasonable expectation? How can I increase the odds of getting people to spread this stuff around?
So I think I'm kind of. I think the one thing I told when I was talking to James and all these guys about is as I am in that same boat, that I don't really like. I'll share some music with friends, but I think a majority of the time I spend listening to music, I find a playlist and I just kind of hit shuffle. So that's where I'm putting a lot of my eggs in personally, is trying to reach out to these people that I know have they either have podcasts or that have playlists on Spotify with a couple hundred followers, and say, hey, just throw us in the mix, because I know when people are driving, all they do is they hit shuffle, and I know, like I said, being on that Distro Kid playlist is insanity, because it's got like 275,000 followers, and we're just on there. So at some point, whether or not somebody stays engaged, they've heard the song because it's on a playlist that they follow.
Right.
So that's that. I feel like that's what I'm personally trying to lean a little more towards, is just getting on these playlists, and just being able to have a hat in that ring.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and that's smart, doing it the way that you're doing it. Like, not even necessarily trying to get individual listeners to listen to it, but just putting it in places where, like you said, playlists where people are going because they don't want to sift through a bunch of music. They just have a flavor that they like, and so a playlist kind of describes that for them, so they click on that, and then boom, your music's there. I mean, that's a smart way to do it. By the way, I'm just going to throw this out here for you guys. I have all the instruments muted, so you guys can tune and do whatever you guys need to do.
Oh, sweet. I'm glad I can tune. I completely forgot.
Yeah, tune those
Absolutely
those
have to make
e-drums.
sure that I'm constantly staying in tune. Because I play this bass kind of hard. I've pulled
Just a little bit.
I pulled it out of tune so many times.
All right, so the next place I want to go with this is talking about performance, and there's a question from Casey.
Oh,
We all know Casey. What's up, Casey?
What's up, bud?
he's
And
still bald, probably. Love you, buddy.
so this one is for each band member. He's asking, what is the favorite venue you have played?
As a band or just in general?
Or just, yeah, I mean, I guess it's open to interpretation there, but favorite places you guys have played.
That's my most favorite place that I've ever performed was at the 35th Street venue. That's what it was called, 35th Street venue. It was a poetry lounge off of Granby in Norfolk, and that was the place that I performed by myself for the first time, not being in a choir. I played Everlong on guitar, and that was it was a formative experience for me. So yeah, I'd say that was my favorite.
Nice. That's funny. The venue on 35th is the first open mic I ever went to out here. Yeah, it's right. I know. Worlds collide.
Right on.
Yeah, I was just getting back into music. I had taken somewhat of a hiatus, and so that was the first open mic that I found. And then I found Big Woody's, and through that I found a bunch of other ones. Keegan's. Shout out to Damian Wade over at Keegan's.
Yeah,
place is dope.
that is, bro. Kaboom Box,
Yeah,
man. That dude is kicking, seriously. In
Yeah.
a Mexican restaurant. That was the hottest. What?
So so that's funny. We both kind of got a fresh start at venue on 35th. So shout out to them.
Yeah, man.
All right, JD, what's favorite venue? Favorite place you've played?
Well, you don't know.
Livestream.
Madison Square Garden.
Yeah. Right here.
Well, I got to give some love to the Riff House, because that's where the band got the start. When we started playing, and I don't know, you probably know this. I don't know if you know this, but I hadn't sung in front of anybody in such a long time. My wife hadn't even heard me sing.
Really?
And then we got a band together, and it was time to sing, and I was like, oh shit, here we go. And I've gotten a lot more comfortable with it, here lately or whatever. But yeah, man, they've always been good to us. We've played a lot of shows there, and that's one of those places that's it's about the music community, and I
Right.
love that. I love that. And then my other favorite thing, I opened up for this guy one time down in St. Pete Theater, or I think that's what it's still
Oh,
called.
I wonder who that guy was.
Yeah, I wonder who that
That's
guy
pretty sweet.
was. You just opened up for some
It's
guy.
John. His name's John.
John.
It's pretty cool.
John Wilkes Booth? No.
No, I got very, very lucky when I spent some time down there way back in the day, and I got to open for John Mayer, which was pretty sweet.
That's
And
awesome.
there was like a lot of people,
Yeah.
and I about pooped my pants. It was cool. I loved it.
Top that, Cole.
All right. Well, it's no John Mayer, but I can say I played. There was a place. It was called the Southwest Makers Fest back in Phoenix. It was pretty cool. But I don't actually know. We played a festival that was on the Great Lawn in front of University of Phoenix, the Cardinal Stadium. Sweet. But yeah, that was a giant stage. And I was like 14, 15 years old playing in front of like 3,000 people. So that was pretty mind-boggling. Other than that, there was a block party, my hometown of Verrado, Arizona. They did it every year, but they did a little talent. They got like bands out, a couple local bands to open for these guys, and that year it just happened to be like, I don't know, Sugar Ray. So we got to open for Sugar Ray. That was
Oh.
pretty cool. It's not John Mayer, but it is cool. In state, since I moved to Virginia, there's a place called Another Round up in Richmond, which is pretty like the bar is okay, but there's a whole little back room.
Mhm.
And I played there on a free metal Friday, but the lights and sound there are insane for being like a bar and grill type setting. They've probably put a good $250,000 into that.
Wow.
It's nuts.
Man. That sounds great.
JD3 now booking. Have you heard that, you guys? We'll come play for you.
Love Another Round.
Hey, JD, is that a pick in your hand?
Yes.
Why?
He didn't get his nail did.
Because okay, so I legitimately so a lot of people know this, but if you don't, I don't use guitar picks because I like to feel the guitar and be one with it. I have gone to my nail salon, okay,
Uh-huh.
3 days in a row,
Uh-huh.
and the lady isn't there to do it, and and then I went back today, and they were closed,
Ah.
and so my finger's bleeding right now, and I'm just trying to maintain a little.
Just trying to survive, get through
I'm
it.
just trying not to bleed out. Yeah.
I know, he destroys his finger every show.
Well, I break picks in half too, man. Like I'm
Yeah.
an animal. I have no control over what I do with this hand.
So, let's talk a little bit about performance. Do you have something to say on that?
About
subject?
performance? Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
I thought you just said something.
No. I'm ready to go.
All right. Well, what do you guys think? What do you guys think makes a good show? Like, what are you aiming for when you're performing out live?
For me, it's two things. It's be tight on the songs, and when you screw that up, inevitably, come in hot and just jam it and be one together and let the crowd see that. You know, because going there as prepared as you want, as soon as you step on a stage, it's like,
Right.
here we go. You
Yeah.
know? So, yeah, I'm just feeling loosey goosey, loose and colorful.
Yeah, that's loose and color. We've gone through many different mottos over the course of the existence of JD3, and loose and colorful was the first one that we came up with, and it never stuck. We could never seem to like put it together to say this before every show and everything like that. But I do believe that it's kind of seeped into the spirit of the band. Oh, they can't hear that.
No,
Doesn't
they
matter.
can't. You just looked ridiculous. That's what happened.
Well, even though it didn't stick in the action of it, it stuck in the mindset
Right.
that we are a jam band, and when something is off, it's not just a matter of it being off; it's just a matter of balance.
Okay.
So if something teeters to the left, lean it around, like get it back right, but enjoy the ride at the same time, like there's some really cool stuff in the corner of a road that you might find hiding in a ditch.
Hiding in a ditch. I like it. So what's the new motto?
The new, what? This is shout out to my mom. This is the motto.
Hi, Mom.
Keep it living a little bit mo. Because last year In 2021, it was keep it living.
Mm-hmm.
In 2022, it's keep it living a little bit more.
I like it. I like
I
it.
thought it was smashing it, but
So you guys aren't on the same page.
no,
no, I've never
no,
heard
not
that
at all.
before ever.
But we're in the same book. That's what really matters. That's the absolute truth of it.
I like that. I like that.
You got some thoughts on that?
What, on the motto or on performance?
Either, both.
Oh man,
Neither.
so performance. Normally, what caps off kind of a good performance for me is kind of like the energy you bring to a stage. Like I don't want to say you should be physically exhausted by the time you're done, but if you're not giving it your all, whether that be a practice, whether that be a show, and the crowd can't see that, like pack it up, go home. Like
Right.
yeah, if you're putting your heart and soul into it, the crowd can see it. Well, whether or not you know that the crowd can see it, they can see it.
Yeah.
Which is why it's like there's, and shout out to Blue from Fine Swiss. There's been plenty of times where he's said some stuff, and I'm just like, dude, why are we doing this song for the 6th time? Like we played Drive by Incubus. We must have done that song 3 times in one night, and I looked at him, I was like, dude, what in the hell are we doing?
Right. Yeah.
And he pulled me aside right afterwards. He's like, look, he said, he's like, you can be mad. It's like, I get it that you're mad that I keep calling this song out. Don't let the audience know that you're frustrated, because they'll see it. Whether or not you know it, they will see it. And the same stands to reason with if you're not putting your heart into a performance, you know.
Right.
Yeah, just other than that, like keeping it tight. Like if you care about the music and you put that passion into the music, it'll stay tight. And like what he's saying is kind of if we screw up, we're screwing up together. It tends to happen a lot. It's like it tends to happen a lot more than we like to admit. That we were just like, hey, we did that one differently, but we were together. And don't get me wrong, there's plenty of times, because motto number 3, I guess, is always be recording. So these guys like to bicker about parts all the time, and sometimes I fall into it. But more often than not, if we're just like, hey, we played it this way one time, it's like, no, we didn't. He goes, it'll take about 5 seconds for somebody to like pull the tape, pull the recording, because we have it somewhere. And that'll happen, and somebody will be like, yeah, you were right, we played it that way.
Usually I'm the one who's right.
Don't go giving yourself too much credit.
All right. So what is next for JD3?
What's next?
Yeah. So you guys you started a band, right? You built it up. You've got a solid core now. You know what you're doing. You know who your audience is, right? Who you're doing this for. You've got music recorded. You've got music out on the radio now and out on Spotify, YouTube. It seems to be doing pretty well. You guys are playing live shows. So what's next? What's the next step in the JD3 band career?
Well, one goal that we're shooting for is the Band-Aid Festival in June 4th. Yeah, June 4th at the Holiday Travel Park. We want to book that show. So it's got Anthony Rosano and Jason Cale playing that.
Nice.
And
Two of our
like
favorites,
those are some top dogs out here, man. Shout out to Smithfield Dash. That's my boy. Shout out to Jason Cale. Shout outs. But anyways,
Hi, Mom.
hi, Mom. That's our short-term, long-term goal right now. Our short-term goal is to get an EP on the way, and
Nice.
so we can keep the content rolling. So you got to keep the fire stoked.
That's important.
I think a long-term goal that we want to do, an East Coast tour.
I like it.
We've got some short hop stuff that we're planning already.
Like Baltimore, D.C., that type of thing.
We're doing Richmond next week.
Nice. Okay.
Fredericksburg.
Richmond and Fredericksburg. We had 2 shows.
There you go. Branching out. I like
Well,
it.
We have 2 shows. Cole's got 5 other bands, so
He's too
probably
busy.
got like 3 in one night that he's got to go to. But that's the. We're trying to keep it moving, man. Really
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in a good spot. We've finally got Cole up to speed with the new song or the songs that were all new to him,
Right.
and we're starting to write new stuff, which is like really exciting because it's challenging and really fun.
Yeah.
And they're all coming out better and better, and we're getting tighter as a band too. So, and then yeah, man, we just want to play. We just want to play in front of as many people as we possibly can, as often as we can, for as little money as we possibly can every single time.
As
We want to make
little as
tens of
possible.
hundreds of dollars. Yeah. Abe taught me that. And by the way, he's babysitting for me right now. So shout out to Abe. man.
Big shout out to Abe Drinking He's.
Yeah, man.
Abe drinking.
Good guy.
Abe
Magic
drinking.
Holler Boys.
Ow. I wonder if they heard that one.
Well, you guys have a ton of momentum, and it seems like you're picking up the pace, which is great, and it's paying off, clearly. You know, I mean, you guys went from what's a JD3 to, you know, now you're on the radio in the span of, well, really less than a year, which is really impressive. I mean, you guys
It was
just,
a week from the single release that we were on the radio.
that's awesome. Yeah, that's pretty wild. So congratulations and hats off to you guys. So big picture, East Coast tour, that's like the next big goal is, you know, start getting out there. I like it.
We want to get out there.
We want to really
Get out there.
St.
I feel like we've
Petersburg's calling us
somehow or another remained relatively an unknown for a while. We've just quietly been doing our thing, and we're just ready to.
That's the way to do it, though. I mean, I'm a big believer that you can get so good that the world can't ignore you anymore, right? You just start like whatever your performance, whatever your show ultimately ends up being, it can be entertaining enough to just grab people's attention where they can't look away, right? And as you start to hit that point, I mean, I think you get the success that you deserve in a lot of ways, right? And that can be a tough pill to swallow when you're not successful because, oh, well, why am I not successful? It's like, well, because you're just not there yet, clearly, because I really do believe this. When you get there, you will know because people will respond to it, right? And there's no way around it, and it seems like people are responding or starting to respond to what you're doing, which means you're doing it right, you know? So
We'd like to believe so.
Yeah.
And let it be very clear. We will remain humble throughout this entire process. Ain't no play airtime, money time, nothing is going to change the way that we do what we do. I can't go for that. I can't go for ego, man. Like,
Yeah, I'm gonna start wearing leather pants. And just,
yeah, he'll be the ego. You can be the sensible one.
But we all share that. Truthfully, like I'm trying to joke around with it, but it's actually like a serious moral thing for me.
Right.
It's just to keep that mind straight onto the goal and don't get so wrapped up in the accomplishment. It was the fight to get there. That's important. Because that's what's going to give you the strength and the determination to get to the next goal.
we've had plenty of opportunities and reasons to call it quits, and it's one thing we never say die, man. You know, we just want to play music.
No deal.
So we keep going.
Some wise words.
Yeah, man.
Anything you wanna say
Don't
about
quit.
All right, well, with that, let's. I think we have one more song. Is that correct?
Yeah, that song is 46 minutes long. It's one more song. This one's called "Bury the Money."
Are we live? We're live.
We're gonna do that without a pick, and I'm just gonna bleed all over the place.
Yeah, baby, I buried the money way out in the yard. Yeah, baby, I buried the money way out by the willow. When I'm dead and gone, baby, you can have it all. Baby, I buried the keys to the red Corvette. Yeah, baby, I buried them keys way up by the money. When I'm dead and gone, baby, drive that Corvette.
We just want to say one more time, thank you guys for tuning in, checking us out. Hope you all are staying safe and staying warm out there tonight. I've done enough talking. We've done enough talking. It's time to do a little bit of playing. I don't want you guys to get a real good, hard, close look at the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Cole Morgan back here on the drum kit.
Caught you on that one,
Oh
buddy.
boy. Remember the first time I ever jammed with Cole. I forgot what the hell I was doing on the guitar because I was so mesmerized by what he does back there. Everything that we do here, we do this for love because we love playing music and we love doing it for other people. We love giving it to other people. And I love this group right here. This man over here is one of my best friends, one of the nicest guys I know. He's also kind of a doofus, but I love him anyway. Standing 6'4", ladies, single and ready to mingle. As of this taping, on bass guitar, JD3 band, Mr. Eric Hawkins Jr.
I'll try to do a little something, keep it together.
Always surprising me with something when he's got that bass in his hands. Before we go, we always like to say this: be kind to one another, love one another, open doors for each other, let people cut you off in traffic.
He never does that.
Yeah, I don't do that, but
never,
you should.
He never does that.
And hopefully we see y'all in the wild here real soon. Thank you.
This one's called Fuck It.
Oh, tight finish with JD3. You can find them on social media at the JD3 Band, so make sure you go over to their Facebook, give them a follow. Go over to their Instagram, give them a follow. Go over to their YouTube, subscribe, like. Their
Comment.
latest single, Hard Driving Woman, you can check that out on Spotify as well.
Hit that bell.
Yes, hit the bell. Get all the notifications because they're going to be coming, fellas. These guys are going to be bringing the heat, bringing the music. So stay tuned for that. And if you like what we're doing here at LK Entertainment, go ahead and subscribe. Hit that like button. We'd appreciate it. The algorithm hates me, so
Ring that bell.
ring that bell. Yeah, right. Smash that like button. Ugh.
Fits
Gross.
you. Sounds good.
Yeah. I don't-
Thank you, Paul, for
I don't-
having us here, buddy. We got to get that in there. I don't think we've thanked everybody else, but we got to thank you. You're the man.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, thank you guys for doing this. Again, it's been a long time coming, so I'm glad we finally got you guys on the show. And thank you to everybody that tuned in. There's a lot of people that stuck around through this thing, so, shocking.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much for the support. Thank you.
Yeah, no, seriously, though, thank you guys. Next week, we're going to have Jarvis Griffin on here. That's going to be...
Oh, yeah, I'm tuning in for that.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. So tune in Sunday, 6 p.m. for Jarvis Griffin. It's going to be an awesome show. And then the Lockdown live stream at some point, probably in the next month or so, is going to be going away. We're going to be changing things up a little bit and bringing it back with the LK Music Talk podcast, where we're gonna ditch the live angle. We'll occasionally do live streams, but we're gonna get rid of that in favor of a slightly different format where we can bring on not just performers, but also music industry professionals. All right, so I've over the course of this year. I've learned a lot about what this show actually is and what it should be, and who the audience, as you talked about, JD, knowing your audience, and I'm realizing that the audience is other musicians and music industry professionals. And so what better way to grow that audience than to bring people on that have insight into the industry that can help people become successful. So that's the new goal of the show. I've got some very interesting interviews lined up when that kicks off, so stay tuned for that. We're going to be switching things up a little bit.
Right
of course,
on.
we'll still
Nice.
keep that musical core and make sure to have killer bands and killer acoustic acts coming on to perform for y'all.
I still think you need like a man on the street segment, like a Nardwall or like a yeah. What is that dude's name? Nardwar, yeah, Nardwar, or like some pitchfork shit or something, man.
Just remind me what elementary school I went to.
Well, we'll see about that, because there's a lot of potential options with the new format that I'm going with, to be able to expand and be a little bit more open than what it's been currently, because it's been fairly narrow, what we've been doing on the show, and I want to be able to open up the doors a little bit. So that may make it in at some point. There might be some of that in the future. So stay tuned for that. And next week we'll be back Sunday, 6 p.m. right here at LK Entertainment on the Lockdown live stream with Jarvis Griffin. So with that said, JD3, thank you guys.
JD3 band.
JD3 band.
Thank you so much.
All right, and thank you once again, everybody tuning in. We'll see you next week. Good night.